What's going on, everybody? This is Breaking Back, and thank you for joining me today. Today, I've got a special project that I am starting, and that is gifts for Teachers Appreciation Week. I believe it's next month, and for the past few years, I've been trying to do something, well, for at least for my wife, but also for the teachers at her school because she teaches in like a lower income area, and doesn't get, well, she doesn't get much when things like Teachers Appreciation Week or the holidays, stuff like that, which is fine. She doesn't complain, but still makes me feel bad. So I've been trying to do some things for her, at least, like I said. One year I made a bunch of earrings in their school colors, so the teachers all had a free pair. They didn't turn out the greatest compared to what I feel like I can make now, but from what I gathered, they enjoyed them. This year, I think I'm going to focus on my wife and the other three fourth grade teachers, basically her teaching team. If I end up making something for everyone, it won't be these, but what this is a two-part jar, and I had the idea to do them in pencil colors. So basically, when you take it out, the top will be threaded, and then this will be the lid that screws on. So since it's upside down right now, I'm gonna mix up a green. It's gonna have to be a few different pours, but I'll mix up a green. I think with those two colors, I can kind of match that Dixon Ticonderoga green that we're all familiar with. And what I'll do is I'll fill up just to the threads of the green. That way, when the lid's off, it'll kind of look like the textures you see on the metal part that's kind of crimping the eraser on. And then I think I'll even do a thin layer, which will be at the base of the lid. And then the rest of the lid will be pink like an eraser. And I'll even try to give it a little bubble on top so it looks like a fresh, unused eraser. And then the rest of the jar will be the pencil yellow that you see right here. And I might even, once it's all said and done, core out the very center, just about 1/8 of an inch down, and fill it in with a graphite looking color of resin. That way it looks like an unsharpened pencil when you pick it up. But this is the first attempt. This is kind of, what am I trying to think of? I don't know. This is just the rough draft, I guess. I want to see if it'll even work. Proof of concept is what I was trying to think of. But right now what we're going to do is we're going to mix up the green. Like I said, I'll try to match that. I should have had a pencil out here with me, but everybody knows it. You know what I'm talking about. The Dixon Ticonderoga 1388-2/HB Soft, if I remember correctly, which is something I remembered in high school for some reason, and apparently I've never forgotten. Unless that was wrong. Let me know in the comments. But with these two colors, I might be able to hone in on that green I'm looking for. And as you can see, I'm doing very precise measurements because I want to really know how much to add when I get to the color that I don't want. But yeah, I'm joking. I put a couple dumps in, a couple dumps of the darker green, 1 dump of the lighter green, and other such measurements I use on this channel. Scoopies, scrapies, dumpies. You'll get used to it. It's very technical terminology. All right, that's a little too much of the dark green, I believe. So we'll give a couple more dumpies of this. Yeah, that kind of sounds bad. I'm not going to say dumpies anymore. I'm sorry. My bad. Got him. All right, I think I'm happy with that green. Is it a little translucent? A little too translucent? I don't know. Guess we can add a little more. A little more to the cup won't hurt. A little more to my lungs. Maybe that's a different story. And I gotta go get my son in about 10 minutes. But I wanted to get this first layer poured because you need to wait a few hours before you pour the next one if you want to avoid having to sand the first layer because it cured all the way. And if you want to avoid the new color you're putting on top mixing in with the previous one because it's not cured quite enough. In fact, I'll probably have to look it up because I feel like, I want to say like 6 hours I'll be good. So maybe I'll do it after dinner. We'll do the next layer, which will be finishing this off with pink and finishing that off with yellow. So I should be able to get it done in one more pour, unless of course I decide to do what I was saying, which is to make it look like there's lead in the bottom of the unsharpened pencil. And then of course I've got the skulls, because when in doubt, skull it out. If I make too much, that's what we're gonna have sitting off to the side every time. In fact, if you saw the video I made stuff for the Easter eggs, my son had an Easter egg hunt at his school, and we were supposed to bring like 12 each. I think we ended up bringing twice that. A lot of parents did, and I ended up putting some of these little knickknacks I make in there along with candy, and we caught, oh no, I'm gonna have to wipe that off. I don't want that mixed in with my yellow. There was a few boys trading their skulls. There's probably about, I think there actually might have been a skull in each egg. So some kids got a few, some kids got none, and they were sitting there trying to trade them. And the teacher had to tell them, knock it off. I guess one of the kids is very persuasive, so he would have got them all to trade their skulls without actually wanting to. Oops. So she nipped that in the bud. But they liked them, so I'll keep making them. And since I wiped it off with rubbing alcohol, I reapplied a non-stick coating, but I had already opened these up and sprayed them. So this one's good to go. I'm wondering, I guess I kind of want it to not, maybe I'll reach down in there and wipe anything off the walls, but I think I just want it to be on the threads. Let's see if we can kind of get that to work around. Maybe I'll get the Jigglenator out. If you haven't seen that, it's been a while since I used it. It's just an old Theragun I have. And I'll hit the molds or whatever the molds are on sometimes. Yeah, it's been a while. Oh gosh, I missed that big time. But I'll just wipe all that off. Let's get the Jigglenator out. Uh-oh, it's sitting on where I have you guys sitting on. So there might be some slight turbulence. Okay, we're back. Kind of. Now I need to get, oh my gosh, I wasn't ready. Now I'm ready. Get the Jigglenator out. Pop. Crank that bad boy up. And then I just kind of hit it from all the sides. I will not be getting a torch or lighter down in there, so I want to try and get them all off that surface so they're not disrupting the thread pattern or anything like that. All right, I'd say that as good as I'm going to be able to get it without a pressure pot. Let's get a little bit of the lid poured before we get into wiping off mode. I just want that thin layer on the bottom. Maybe could have used a pipette because I do have those now. Well, that's certainly not going to be enough. Guess I could do it this way. Make even more of a mess to clean up after. Okay, I feel like that was way too much. Very messy, but I'm gonna wipe it up. Hopefully I can get most of it. Kind of rushing at this point. Hopefully that's good. Yeah, I don't really know. Can hit it with the Theragun. And now let's get to wiping. Cue the fast forwarding as soon as I sit back down. Get some rubbing alcohol. Get the main surfaces first, and then I'll try and get a Q-tip down in where I think it needs it. Wiping off that demolding spray again. I know I leveled out this table. Okay, I think what I'll use is a little paper towel. There's my timer. Ooh, I gotta get ready. Stop. Although I'm kind of ready already. I didn't really do anything that made too much of a mess. So I'll just go in what I'm wearing. It's already hot anyways. Got some gym shorts and a t-shirt on. Usually I'll throw on clothes I don't mind getting messy and then just change right before. But yeah, I'm not that bad right now, so should be good. Looks like Gravity helped me out in the jar section. As far as the walls having green stuff on them. I mean, there's a few dots here and there. Let's get them. This should work. If I just wedge this down in there and wipe all the way around, and then also hope for the best. Looks like that worked. Sweet. All right, let's get these threads. Try not to go down so far that I'm smearing the actual resin I want to keep. Let's see, does that look all the way around? It does. Okay. Let's get these skulls filled up, and I'll go get my son. Oh my gosh, my secondary timer's about to go off. And yeah, I keep two, just in case. Give it a little pinch. See if that helps later on with the air bubbles. Ooh, almost missed. Oh my gosh, I did miss over here. Put down this parchment paper so I don't have to worry about cleaning off this TV tray. And I still made a mess. Stop. But that's par for the course. Like me running late. Me making way too much resin even for these 3 extra skulls. Aw, shuckerinos. Weep. Okay. Might as well clean these off. Then I won't have any little flakes to rip off. Although that is the fun part, as long as you're wearing your glasses. I have a little short of me flaking off a little piece of that sharp resin into my cornea, or whatever part of my eyeball it would have been. Let's see, what can I throw the rest of that into so I can hurry up and not be late? And let's just do one of the animals I have, or at least half of it. We'll see how much it fills up of the snail. Let's do the snail. Green snail. Coming at you. First I'll try to get it in the little eye cavities or antenna cavities, whatever the heck they are. I think it's their eyeball stalks. You can see on the side it's not in there. Try to force the air out and get the resin in. I don't think I've ever done one of these where all 4 of these little posts were complete. We'll see how it goes. Almost used it all. I like when it does that little swirling after the fact. Happens a lot more when you use multiple colors. And you know what they say, and by they I mean me. When in doubt, skull it out. Just made that up earlier. In football, our coach used to say 2 different things, and they related to whether or not you could remember your play, who you were supposed to hit. And he would say either, when in doubt, don't block out, meaning block the person inside of you closest to your quarterback, or when in doubt, knock someone out. If you don't know who you're supposed to hit, make sure somebody's on the ground. Either way, he would have been happy with if you forgot your play, but standing there looking silly was not one of the things you could do. I'm looking at this green now and I'm thinking that's not a great match to what I wanted now. But I'm in such a hurry. If it doesn't look good when it's finished, I can hone in on that color for the next ones. But since this is a 2-parter, I'll see you guys, well, right now. Okay, so it has been a little bit over 3 hours since I poured this first layer. And if you didn't know, before you pour multiple layers of resin, if it's fully cured, you should scuff it up. That way the new layer can stick to the previous layer. But if you find that sweet spot where it's tacky, but not loose enough to where they'll mix together, you can skip that step and just pour the next layer, and that also prevents it from having a visible separation. So that's not really a big issue though, because these are different colors, so they should be visibly separated. But if you're doing multiple clear layers, then it helps with that. So let's go ahead, we're gonna do yellow for the rest of the body of the jar, because that's gonna be the pencil. Man, the flies are coming out. Must be warming up. Fly just landed on my phone screen. He must like what he sees. Hopefully that's not an indicator that it is doo-doo. My videos, that is. I think my views are an indicator of that. I don't need your help, fly. Now shoo, fly. I think that's mixed well enough. I already pre-mixed the clear before I hit record, so the 2 parts are already combined. Just gotta get the color. and I like that. So let's get the pink mixed up, and I'm going to use that same stick. Now this is the one, dang it, I should have pre-mixed the color. Whenever I get them out of these envelopes, I always have a problem with having clumps not fully mixed in. Maybe I can try and just get the lighter stuff to fall on instead of the clumps. Let's see how dark that is. Something about this pink and that yellow combo looks so good. I wonder if it's because we've seen it in pencils our whole lives, or if they put it on pencils to make pencils more appetizing. I mean, not to eat, but to use. You know what I mean. All right, I'm gonna look really closely, see if I can find any clumps. It's kind of hard to tell until you take the piece out and it had all sunk to the bottom of the mold, which is now the top. Although that's not the case for every mold, huh? It's the case for this part, but not that part. All right, now we just gotta hope that I didn't completely underestimate how much resin I needed. Let's let that fill in a little. Ooh, I think we did good on this. I need that to be level because I really want to give it a bubble like a new eraser would have. But you can see it's higher on this. I don't know if you can see, but it's higher on this end. And I feel like the mold's too big. If I were to put something under it, it would bend it. So let's see if I can get something under the leg. I've already got something under the legs, but clearly not enough. Oh shucks. I forgot how light this thing is. All right, that should be good. That's better at least. Let's get another drop in there and see what that brought our level to. Yeah, I'm gonna put a little more. A little bit more. Man, I'm excited to see this come together. Especially knowing they're gonna be teacher appreciation gifts. I'd much rather give things away than sell it, but I know that's not practical. Got one. All right. Oh, shucks. I just wiped this off and dripped it all onto my leg. Man. Oh, man. Swiper, no swipey. Well, I always keep rubbing alcohol handy. Okay, I got most of it. I'll get my hands more thoroughly after. Let's get that yellow. Oh, I just saw something drip. What dripped? Why'd you drip? Dang it. Got a little drip right here. Whatever, I'll get it after. Let's see how much I missed this estimation by. Oh man. Quite a bit, I'd say. Time to mix up some more. I'll be right back. Alrighty then. I am 50% sure I didn't mix up enough again. But let's find out for sure. Ooh, it looks like we're close. Is it close enough? Yes, it is. Sheesh. Thought I just made a boo-boo. A second back-to-back boo-boo. Boo-boo-boo. Not to be confused with a la-boo-boo. La-boo-boo, is that it? I think that's what they're called. I don't know. The only la-boo-boo I've seen is that tea place me and my wife like going to when we visit my mom. They have these, I can't can't remember what they are. Something cotta, not terracotta, I don't know. They're desserts and they're almost like a creamy jello. And this time when we went, they had Labubu shaped ones for sale, which I thought was pretty funny. Anytime I hear Labubu, I think of Honey Boo Boo Chow. Luckily my kids never got into the Labubus. But I did hear that they're being stolen when people bring them to school on their backpacks and whatnot, so if your kid's got a Labubu collection, keep it at home. All right, we are done with those. Let me get this out of the way. We'll make a couple pink skulls, or one pink skull. Let's see how many we can pour. Ooh. Give a little pinch. Line the edges all inside. Hopefully that helps. I swear I used to be good at estimations. I wonder what happened. Aside from age. Although that should get better with age. Maybe I just think about it less when I blurt out an estimation. I don't know. The World May Never Know by Eric Carle. My wife will get that. We had this book that I don't remember if it was something separate, if it was attached to the book, but it would read the stories. And they were all by this author, Eric Carle. So whenever you push the button, it would be like, whatever, whatever, by Eric Carle. So now whenever I say something that almost sounds like a book title, or my wife does, we'll cap it off with, by Eric Carle. Okay, that's gonna do it for today. I'll pick it back up in the morning when these things are cured enough to pop out. See you soon. And I had to put a box over it because as soon as I hit stop recording, a fly landed in the yellow resin and I had to fish him out. All right, it's been over 24 hours now, but it is finally demolding time. I was a bit busy yesterday with a doctor's appointment and I was early out for the kids, so I just figured I'd wait longer and it'd give it more time to cure. Especially since it's two pieces threading together. I don't want any of them to be warped. That'll defeat the purpose. And if you can tell, I've got it framed really wide. Because I'm going to try and make a short out of this too without having to zoom in and lose quality. And I think if I do it this way, I should be able to just cut it, like frame it instead of having to zoom in. So we'll find out. But let's first get the skulls demolded. This is the one that's a half skull. Cool thing about this, I haven't done it yet, but I imagine I can make it look like it's coming out of something. Like my hand, for instance. It's got some bubblegum pink, or hopefully some eraser pink. That's the color I was going for. Don't think I nailed the green though, but hopefully it's close enough to where you can tell. Still got the cheekbone bubbles, although I didn't see it on the other ones. Ooh. I've got a virtual appointment with my rheumatologist today. We scheduled it for when my wife will be home so she can actually remember the things I'm supposed to say and the things they say back. Otherwise, I'll just nod my head and say yes, forgetting about all the things I should be bringing up. And so we got that in a few hours. Well, it's like 5 hours. Wow, I'm bad at math. So 7 hours. Ooh. Got a little drop of gold on his head. All right, now for this snail. I never get these guys right because of the little antenna. Let's see how well I did. Oh, missed his eyeballs. As usual. I even like squeezed it, and I don't know. Maybe I got a pipette. A drop in each of those before. All right. Let's do the lid first. Looking pretty clean. You can see where the green was kind of trapped in the threading there, because I was pouring it from up top and I tried to wipe away the excess, but oh well. Can't see it from the outside. It gives me hope. Now for the challenging mold. Hopefully it doesn't break on me. Gotta flip it all the way inside out, basically. Okay, my green's looking level. Come on now. Okay, it looks good. I don't see any air bubbles in the threads, which is crazy. See a little green there that I didn't wipe off. Now for the true test. Does it look like a pencil? What do you think? I love it. Gotta make 3 more. Just like it. Not sure what the teachers will use it for, but hopefully they like it as well. I'll show my wife when she gets home. This one will probably be hers. And I'll try to replicate it 3 times. But that is going to do it for today's video. I appreciate you watching, and I hope you're having a great day. In fact, I hope it gets even better from here, and I'll catch you next time.